Welcome to Hope County, Montana. As I've just moved from Texas to Montana, I felt that a playthrough of this wonderful game would be appropriate. I'd get to see the culture of the people of Montana, at least through the lens of somebody who's never lived outside of a city or experienced the joys of the outdoors or their Second Amendment rights. Hope County is a wonderful place where you can hear random gunshots off in the distance while explosives, explode, and Christian music plays on every radio station. You can buy military-grade explosives and armaments in bars as well as church, so not too far from home. Let us begin. We will be playing as the deputy, or the rookie, Rook for short. Hope County's been taken over by the boogeyman of the left, fanatic spiritualists with guns. And it is up to you to free the county by attempting to defuse the cult's irrational fears and try to parlay with them. Which is what I would have said if the Fed character in this game had half a brain and didn't do exactly what Feds do best: piss people off. So you and 3 people from Hope County Sheriff's Department and a glowy whose name I really forget fly directly into the middle of the compound during service. As you walk up, the Fed is super cocky because he has a badge, while the sheriff, who's the one who's been living next to these people for years, tells him not to do anything stupid. The Fed immediately kicks the door of the church in and arrests Joseph Seed in the middle of his service in front of his fanatic congregation. Big brain move. When they expectedly get pissed off, he tries to pull a gun on them, only while the sheriff tries to tell everybody to calm the fuck down. The glowy then leads us around the compound, parading Joseph, in handcuffs, around to be witnessed by his whole entire cult. Yet another big brain move. When the people expectedly get pissed and start throwing shit, the glowy immediately pulls out his gun and yells he's a glowy and starts shooting into the air.
Is this guy fucking competent?
No. You then load up into the helicopter after provoking the cult and fulfilling their prophecy that Joseph would be arrested because you're led by a fucking idiot. The cult attacks the helicopter, jumping on it like zombies at World War Z. Eventually one dude gets caught in the propeller and crashes the whole thing with you all inside. Nancy from Dispatch is trying to get a hold of anyone when Joseph tells her everything's okay, and it turns out she's a cult member. Shoulda checked up on that one. Then Joseph tells everyone it's time to get the party started, called The Reaping, which I really misheard the first time as they were pulling the Lady Cop Hudson out of the helicopter while they were saying it. The thing catches fire and everyone inside scatters. You, the sheriff, Pratt, and the Fed. After finally being freed from the incompetence that is the glowy, you sprint through the woods, kill some cultists, and, well, this is all pretty standard Far Cry shit, so I'll summarize it for you. You find the Fed, and then you defend a house until he realizes that there's a car about a minute later. You hop in the car, and you have a chase sequence where you blow shit up and eventually crash. This time, it's off a bridge and into a lake, and the last words of the glowy are, well, you are saved by an old man, Dutch, who says that you are the only thing that can save this county.
We'll see if we can unfuck this situation.
After customizing my character to look like a full-on fucking alpha Chad, the tutorial can commence. So you're quickly told that there are a few ways to piss off the cult. Break their shit, steal their shit, take over their shit, and free their captives. After some big brain and high testosterone gameplay, I got through the tutorial. That was until I got to the radio tower, and I had to scale it. Because of course I do. It's a fucking...
I know what you're thinking, and no. I ain't gonna have you climbing towers all over the county for me, so don't worry. Also, try not to fall from up there.
Well, I guess they got the message about the towers. You then get signaled to Dutch, and he gives you a map tutorial where there are 3 regions. Each of them is controlled by one of the Seed siblings. In the north, there's Jacob Seed, military man, full of guns, very dangerous. In the east, there's Faith. Drugs, and even more drugs. Fun, but still kinda dangerous. Finally, in the south, we have John Seed. He's in charge of, I think, resource acquisition. Sounds kinda like a bitch and looks kinda like a bitch, so we'll go for him first. Wait a second. Joseph Seed. Jonathan Seed. Is this a fucking... You're goddamn right, this is a fucking JoJo's reference. This shit is too easy. Did you not see the title of this video? Not only is Far Cry 6 about to come out, but also JoJo's Part 6. The stars have fucking aligned, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the fucking video. Anyway, we get a video from Jonathan Joseed, and as being somebody who grew up in the church and still kind of goes occasionally, the accuracy of this video is astounding. The amount of these promotional videos that show you the next series of sermons and like what they'll be on, it's kind of hilarious. And there's a hostage. Genuinely, this game has so many unintentional funny moments, it's insane. Like, just stroll out the crying hostage, nothing's going wrong, keep the video rolling. The video ends eventually, and the world opens up, and this is where the fun begins. I quickly headed south towards Ray Ray's pumpkin farm because doggo. I quickly realized that going on foot is going to be slow as hell, so I grabbed an ATV and headed off, but not before blowing up the big red silo. And then quickly learned I suck at driving. I then got to the farm and killed all the cultists and then freed the doggo Boomer. Boomer is a hunting dog and can be sent to take out enemies without getting detected, allowing you to stealth gooder. I then realized I had a few upgrade points and I put them into grapple and more small arms ammo. I then came across an apple farm and proceeded to stealth goodly. And by stealth I mean I let a bear rampage through the camp while I just sat back and watched. Anyways, I got my first gun. Nothing too crazy. I got a Neon Barrett 50 cal with time 2's scope, silencer, and extended mag. I had acquired very powerful DACA. Why did I have this unlocked? I have no idea. But this is a Christian game, and it's a Christian channel, so I will take it as a blessing from the Lord. Me and Boomer then proceeded to take down some bears from behind the farm and got a lead on a very interesting character. Willis Huntley, the CIA agent.
I was on vacation visiting all 50 states in ascending order of patriotism when I got a call. The call.
And all around American.
Uncover a tape that, if released, could make him look bad to the public. I tracked it here to a member of Joseph's happy family. He stashed it somewhere, and that's where you come in. Do this for your country, and your country will solve your little cult problem for you.
We then needed to clear out the lookout. Luckily, I have Boomer, and this is going to be easy. Also, the silent 50 BMG.
Attention, comrade. The bed has been wet. Repeat. The bed has been wet.
But now we have to track down a target and find the location of the tape.
You got a wingsuit. You can jump off the tower and follow it down. Otherwise, I spotted...
I do not have a wingsuit, so I must drive. After driving down the stunt rally, I trailed them and was then given the kill order.
Oh, it's time for the stick. When he lands, clear the area. We're looking for a hard copy.
With copious amounts of explosives lying around, I set the entire place on fire and found the tape. After handing it to Willis, he tells me that, yeah, he's not going to help me. So I responded calmly with a 50 cal round through his skull, and then promptly blew up a truck for good measure. At this point in the game, I had no idea what I was doing, so I just continued to head south until I walked into what sounded like a war zone. So naturally, I hopped into action. I got to the commotion and fought like hell. I then thought with all these cultists that it must be a stronghold. I then saw a woman beat my dog. After respecting the woman and showing her the proper Sigma male grind set, I checked my map and saw that this place wasn't even a point of interest. So I figured I would just head to Falls End. When I got there, it was a fucking war zone. After running out of ammo and a little bit of melee cheese, blowing up a truck, and using an RPG to take down an attack plane, I freed the people of the town. And I got a nice little cutscene. I then met Pastor Jerome and the bar lady, and I don't really know her name right now. I then picked up some missions and replaced the 1911 pistol with a P.226 with reflex scope and silencer. I then headed to complete some missions. I then stumbled across a tractor and proceeded to mow down cultists with it. I then remembered that drugs were a thing and took all of them, punched a few bison into the air, and charged headfirst into a compound where I then punched a whole bunch of cultists and died. I'll need more drugs next time. I then proceeded to take out a camp with the goodest of stealth and made that extra bonus money. Then I got a side objective where I had to fix some pipes, and Jojo threatened me. And like an underage girl messaging EDP, I was marked. What this meant was that Jojo was going to send a goon squad to take me captive, and that I was going to need to finish this quest quickly. After I finished it, JoJo's boys showed up and tried to take me hostage. While we fought, I got hit once and was captured. I awoke to a baptism where JoJo tried to drown me, to which Big JoJo showed up and told Little JoJo off for being a bitch.
Cleansing, John.
This one shall reach the atonement. Or the gates of Eden shall be shut in jar.
And I woke up in a van where me and 2 other people were gonna get tortured. Until a car hit us off the street, and yet another unintentionally funny scene happened. I don't know why, these things just make me laugh. Suddenly, fucking Jerome pulls up with the most badass paladin shit I've ever heard.
Must destroy them totally. No treaty with them. And show them no mercy.
And then tells us that we need to fight through the street and save somebody named Meryl. I found him on the ridge with a mortar, and we took the position and held it for about 2 minutes.
Got an engine and chopper to pick you up, so just hold your ground until it gets there.
Look! A flare! More Peggies are gonna be here any minute. Fire! You are dead! Can't thank you enough, Deputy.
We escaped and the mission was done. Again, I found myself lacking an objective, so I blew some shit up and then met with Grace Armstrong, the sniper. She's defending the grave of her father and other soldiers in the cemetery because
is one of them. The Peggies are trying to defile them. They're trying to erase our history, demoralize us, get us to break so we'll roll over. Not on my fucking watch.
so we take up point and fight like hell. After mowing down a convoy, Grace joins my team.
Get all sappy and shit. But if you ever need help, give me a call.
I stumbled across an airfield, where I quickly cleared it with stealth. So after clearing it, I hopped in the plane and flew off, and I was quickly acquainted with Nick Rise. I flew through an obstacle course and realized that this plane had a fucking A-10 Warthog gun, or a GAU-8 Avenger 30mm 7-barreled Gatling cannon. If you've ever seen this, that's what this fucking plane has. Not to mention a payload of I don't know what. Anywho, I brought it back to Nick when we were unsurprisingly attacked by the cult. No doubt pissed off that we just stole their $20 million plane that they stole from Nick. So we fought some more cultists. We kill the cultists, and Nick wants to, unsurprisingly, leave Hope County with his pregnant wife and unborn child. His wife Kim convinces him to stay.
Nick, your grandfather built this place. You really want to turn your back on that? And what about all the times you talked about handing off the business to our daughter?
I talked about handing off the business to our son.
You've seen the ultrasound. It's a girl.
Well, that was on a messy black and white TV screen. You know them things ain't reliable.
Nick?
Not smart, but now I have air support.
If you need any air support, you give me a holler. Hey? You and me, we'd be like Butch and Sundance.
Nick, they both died at the end.
Third member of the Dream Team acquired. I then did another mission for Nick, bombing, shooting, and committing war crimes, and unlocking a big boy plane to use wherever I want. And after a little bit of trolling, like a 16-year-old girl meeting Call Me Carson, I was marked. I was captured and then brought to little Jojo, who has Hudson tied up to a chair, and explained to us why pain was good. Eventually, he takes her off into another room, and you attempt to make your escape. I got a pipe, and after a little bit of stealth, I died. So I tried to use even more stealth, and I died. So I just stuck with a little bit more melee cheese, and then Jojo starts flooding the bunker with bliss. So I had to fight, and I ran like a bitch. I had no ammo, no health, and this time I did have a wingsuit on, so I jumped off the mountain and flew away. I then realized that I was going to need more resources in order to effectively take out Johnny Josie. Thus, I began raiding prepper stashes. Now, what is a prepper stash? A prepper stash is a puzzle, and you reward 3 skill points, a good amount of cash, and re-upping your ammo. Very worth it. So, I did 3. First one I did was a barn. I went through the window, got some stuff, and that was it. Next one was a water filtration station that was locked, so the cult couldn't poison the water supply. I then sniped the lock through a window, and then got that gamer bread. Finally, bees. I got stung. A lot. I was able to acquire that sweet gamer loot, but at the cost of my beautiful, beautiful skin. I also then sniped a guy out of the plane, cleared a stronghold using stealth, and got a new gun. Anywho, I found myself at the bee's place because Mary, formerly referred to as Bar Lady, sent me to go gather her father's car, the Widowmaker. And it was extremely worth it, as the Widowmaker was a fucking 18-wheeler engine with dual-mounted LMGs on the front for maximum devastation. I brought the car back and was then informed of the Testicle Festival.
You know what this town needs? Balls. I'm dead serious. Falls End's annual Testicle Festival is a decades-old tradition. A Testy Festy is one of the few times the community comes together for what makes them happiest. Scarfing down cowboy caviar. This town needs a morale boost. And if stuffing Rocky Mountain oysters down your gullet don't put a smile on your face, then I don't know what could.
Which is a real thing. After doing this mission and a few more,
Help me line up my shop, would you? Steady, steady. Goodbye, Alvin. First babe I ever held.
it was finally time to face off against Jojo. I then fast traveled back to the church where I was gun-butted in the face and was faced with the best boy Nick, Jerome, and Mary. John wanted us to confess, and after some resistance, he then whispered something into Nick's ear. I assume John threatened Nick's wife and unborn kid, so he complied.
Yes. Yes, I will, Tom.
Nick then gets a chunk of his flesh cut off.
It's the power of yes.
And it's our turn next.
Upon the word of Joseph. Renounce your sins and admit your transgressions.
renounce your sins and admit your transgressions. Say yes.
It's just one word.
Mary then tells me to get in the gunner seat of the car while she drives. So after one rail shooter sequence later, we got to a hangar. After clearing the hangar, we hop in a plane, and with Nick's help,
What if Joseph is right? Did you ever stop to think about that?
I then got to the bunker where Nick, the cultists outside, and I head deeper below. Unlike last time, I'm not running like a bitch. I then replaced the 50 BMG with the patron gun of all Americans. A semi-automatic 12 gauge with no plug. Eat shit, fed boys. I then found Hudson, who was shaken, to say the least. After getting her to not kill me, she then told me that there were many others that we needed to save. And after waiting for just a little bit too long and shooting in the air to wake her back up, all the cells were unlocked, and we went and freed everyone. I then destroyed the mainframe, and after scaling a missile silo, I then made my daring escape as the whole place was catching fire and exploded, with no pants on. I also died a lot. Anyway, we got back to Falls End where there was a celebration and we freed the first part of the map. Joseph gets a cutscene where he says,
My brother John was loved by few, feared by many,
and
those responsible for his death will be punished. I promise you that.
And that's it. Southern area is free from the cult. This is a large project, so I'm probably going to be breaking it up into parts, so you can expect the next part to be coming sooner rather than later, and much sooner than I normally upload. Anywho, if you want to see more of the clusterfuck that is this kind of content, then do all the funny YouTuber stuff, and most of the arts of